Hey, my baby loves, how y'all doing? It's about four something in the morning, like 4:16 in the morning. I want to tell y'all about this dream I just had before I forget it, right? I don't feel like writing right now. So I'm gonna use this video as my writing. I'm gonna come back later when I wake up again and get the words that I'm saying on this video, but I'm gonna go on and post it, right? Because it's fresh. It just happened, like I just woke up. I went to sleep praying and thinking about my cousin, Brandy. And I haven't seen her in a long time. It's been a long time. And I heard from her yesterday. The reason I left that video called Healing, it was because she told me that she's going through some health issues. Now, in my mind, going to sleep, I was ordering her immune system to stop it. Whatever it's doing to stop, because it's hurting her. That whatever it's attached to, it's listening to the wrong thing, And this is for you, Brandy. It really is for you, but it's for people also that are going through some type of ailment, sickness, a real serious issue. Now, it's a difference between problems and situations. Situations are something that you can sit down and really think about it and get your way out of it. It starts with SIT. You sit there and think your way into stuff so you get into stuff. A problem is something that only God can fix. A problem is out of your control. A problem is when the kaboom done hit the fan. Okay? So you really need God in this situation. The reason this thing done turned into a problem is because you done sat there too long into something that does not vibrate with you well, does not suit you well, it make you stagnant in your growth. It knocks your frequency. It stops you from flying. It stops you from soaring. Please try to grip what I'm saying in my words. I speak metaphysical, like in metaphors. I don't try to, but that's the only way I can explain stuff, right? So this dream that I had, I was with Jesus again. Now, to be healed, you got to be what healing is. Healing is consciousness, but it's high thinking consciousness. It's Christ consciousness. You're going to have to grab you something to believe in other than yourself. You're going to have to believe that everything around you loves you so much. Not just people. Because you're asking for help from something supernatural. So you're gonna have to believe like you never believed before, because you are fighting for your life. And your life depends on your thinking. Simple as that. It sounds like you got to do so much stuff. You got to find all the herbs. No. It's how you thinking. How you thinking is attacking you on the inside. And it's reflecting on the outside. You're a creator God. I bet God be sitting up there saying, why they want to be sick when I give them the power not to be. Right? But nobody taught us. We didn't know. This is what getting to know yourself, you find out stuff like this. I don't have a teacher, Brandy. I don't. It's experience and paying attention to it. But in my dream, I think I was standing at the bottom of a lake. Or standing in the water. If you, I don't know how to explain it, but it concerned bubbles, and matters. Matters. God's words are twofold creatures. They can mean a whole lot of stuff. In this dream, these bubbles just kept coming up, big bubbles, but they had something on the inside of them. And I can't recall what's on the inside, y'all. I'm sorry. I know in my mind, but I can't describe it. I'm sorry. But just know it's a bubble with something on the inside of it. And it's blue. Whatever is inside these bubbles is blue. Now, that water represents us. We are more water than we are anything. The earth is surrounded by water. Water is the mother of Jesus. Water is the mother of us all. Water is our mama. Water is called the fountain of youth. People looking for the fountain of youth and they walking around with it inside of them. Now, when you thinking off, you say off things and then you do off things. Inside these bubbles are matters. Things that matter to you get mattered, meaning things that you're concerned about that you can't see, but you concerned about things. And because you're concerned about it, you make a certain frequency and something has to respond to it. So matter gets it and harden it so you can see it. It's because you're calling on it. You got to watch how you talk about yourself. You got to watch how you talk about other people. You got to watch how you treat yourself. And you got to watch how you treat other people. In these bubbles were matters. And matters come to the surface. The bubbles was coming to the surface. They were popping. And they were going on the earth, doing what they supposed to do, grabbing a hold to their identities because you're calling them up from the deep. The way we think traps us because we spit when we talk. We spit. We spit out water. And when we spit, we're spitting out our words and they're coming out of the fountain of you through our mouth. So imagine fish coming out of your mouth. Imagine the fish making the bubbles. You're putting the fish in there. You're creating the fish. God said, cast all your cares upon me. It all got to do with fishing. We go fishing and pick up the wrong type of fish. You speak these words and they fly out of your mouth. And we don't give them no command. We don't give them no master. And they just swimming in the sea, growing up until they bubble up. Depending on how much this bubble matters to you, depending on how fast it gets matters so you can see it. Because if something matters to you, you give it attention, you give it care, you give it focus. The universe does not understand yes and no. It only understands frequency, what's more dominant. If you have been sad, remorseful, regretful, shameful, holding on to grudges, mean to people, and a lot of people say they ain't mean, but deep down inside, you really know if you're mean, if you're being honest. Remember, you fighting for your life. And right now, you're not in control of nothing that matters to you. You're thinking about the matters that belong to the situation, and it's becoming a problem. You need for your fish now, you need to create you some new fish, right? And you need to create you some fish and send them off. So these fish, they're called matters. They're called cares. Things you care about so much. And it can be positive or negative. And when your immune system is compromised, that means it's more negative than positive. Because your immune system are your soldiers. They are what's alert and fight you when an invader has come in. But they have been compromised. So they need help. How do you help your immune system? How do you help a failing organ? How can you help a compromised kingdom? Because the word kingdom created your blood. Well, you got to know what you're fighting for. Get to know your body. Show your body that you're interested in it. Yeah. I'm sorry. We get these bodies and we just using them. You don't get to know your body. Your body has been telling you things been going wrong for a long time. But because we're disconnected from the body, we think we are the body. We don't get the signals. We ignore the signals. So how do you heal? How do you send healing? Because now healing has an army. You need healing to go and rescue what's going on with the immune system. But the healing is all words, baby. It's all words. What words do you hold dear to your heart? Remember, you're in the fight of your life and you're talking to God. You're talking to heaven. You're talking to the universe. You're talking to whatever created you and is in control of this thing and told you that you got the power to heal yourself. And you do. It's how you think. That's why I said get a book and write. Get you some notebooks and write. I used to be 325 pounds. I have somebody else's heart. I have coded over 5 times and come back. This is where I get my information from. My heart was just at 10% twice this year. This is my 6th rejection that I have beat. I refuse to lay down. How serious are you about your life, babies? You're in a fight. You're in a war. You're in a battle. You just got bad news. They can see it on their monitors. So they're telling you what's in there causing the issue. You are God. You are frequency. You are vibration. Everything vibrates and operates off of how you think. And then how you feel. These are matters. What matters to you matters. You're God incarnated over and over and over. What matters to you matters to the deity, the gods, the whatever, the elements that put flesh to things. Because when you believing in a thing, you having faith in it. You faith in it. So faith is the evidence of the things that you cannot see. That means you done faithed it too long. You done thought it too long. You done sat there in it too long. You been letting it go around too long. You been letting it go on too long. Now you need solitude. Now you need your peace. Now you can't help nobody. Now it's time to clean house. Now it's time to cut people off. Now it's time to look at this thing. Look at your church. Do you really want to be here? You're going to have to fight. And you need words of power. You're going to have to fight. You're going to need words that you can fall in love with. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to say words that make you feel. You're going to have to fight. Fight them words that just came against you and told you that this is happening to you and this no cure or ain't no way this going to happen. No, baby. You better use your words, and your words is what God gave you. You give God back them words that he gave you. If you can't find your own, you better find you a holy scripture book. And you better read and see what in the world God said. You better go find you somebody to listen to. Somebody that's obsessed with God and in love with God. You seeking, you knocking. Now you need to figure out who this God is you trying to serve. Now you need to figure out how this God you serve operate. You fight for your life now. And when you get this life, this is a new life and this is a lesson. What God gives, he can take it away. But these matters, they bubble to the surface and they go to where the energy is. It's coming out of the fountain of youth. And so the reason that thing is bad, because it's young, it's vibrant, it gets to live, it gets arms and legs, it gets to be. But no, you better kill that thing. You better destroy that thing. That thing don't like you. That thing is evil. But it's dumb because it don't even know it was created out of ignorance. But now with your knowing, you're going to grab a hold to it and you're going to get rid of it. And you're going to grab words of power. You're going to fall in love with these words, baby. And I can't give you the words. You have to find the words that make you feel good. You have to clothe yourself in them and wrap yourself in them, because you're being spiritually attacked. And you're being attacked by words, thoughts, images, feelings from what you seeing, feelings from what you hearing. So now you got to vice versa that thing. Your words are in the ocean also. But don't let them bubbles come to the surface and grab a hold to unbalanced thinking. Like, how do you really feel about yourself? How can you say you love God but then mistreat yourself? How can you say you love God and you're not good to yourself? How can you say you love God and you don't fight for peace? Don't let nobody mistreat you. Somebody else's mistreatment can be your downfall. And you're letting them mistreat you for what reason? See, it be out of ignorance. If you carrying a load that you know that's too heavy, get rid of it because it matters to you. That's why you carrying it. And the more it matters to you, the more matter you're going to call to that situation that you're sitting in. Change the situation and the problem gets fixed. You got to create a situation where the heavens can come and chill. You got to create a environment, an atmosphere in your life where nothing but holiness can be there. Everything about you can't be tainted. It's called spending time with God. But it's really getting to know yourself. Healing. Healing can do its job, but you could come and mess it up. It's how are you thinking? Well, you're going to reverse your thinking. Baby, your organs are alive. That's a new way to think. Words are your medicine, your clothes, your food. Words are your suit of arms. Words is the cure. Words are the antidote. You're going to have to create new images in your mind. That's why I say write. I've been writing for years. And usually people who be getting attacked like that, and this is a constant, it's because you carry an anointing. You carry something great, so the evil in this world is going to attach itself. It's going to try to attach itself. It's going to attack you. But it's a way to fight it off. And when you have an issue, when the doctor can tell you that it's something going wrong because they see it, then that's a clue that, oh God, I'm thinking off balance. I need to get my thinking back on balance. Somewhere along the line, I stopped loving myself. Somewhere along the line, I got lost. Somewhere along the line, I stopped putting myself first. Somewhere along the line, I cared about the wrong stuff. So it's just telling you, get back in track. When they tell you that mean they caught it in time. I don't care what stage they say it's in. If they seen it and you went there because your body made you go there. Because something said you need to see about it. Finally, you listened and you went. But now that you hear, it's he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say, not man. Let him hear what the Spirit says. And the Spirit is God. The Spirit is invisible. The Spirit is the good stuff. The Spirit is what loves you. The Spirit is what guides you. The Spirit is what leads you back to source every time. The Spirit is what saves you every time. The Spirit is where healing is coming out of. The Spirit is where the power is coming out of. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. God said you going over, not under. God said you are the head and not the tail. Do you believe it? Look how that sound. Look how that feel. I'm going over, not under. Thou shalt be no sickness. Psalms 91:10. No evil shall befall thee, nor sickness come nigh thy dwelling. But do you believe it? How is it bubbling up in you when you say it? How is it coming to the surface when you say it? Do you walk around your house and thank life? Do you walk around your house and praise life? I'm giving you a new way of thinking. I'm giving you something to do. I'm giving you something new. You need for God to do a new thing. You need for God to come up and do something about this situation that you done sat in too long. It's become a problem. Thank you, life. I appreciate you, life. I love you, life. Life, you been so good to me. Life, you been so good to me. I thank you, life. I thank you, life. Have you ever thought about thanking your breath? Think about the things you never thought about. You serve an invisible God. You looking for help from the supernatural. So, baby, you gonna have to rip the skin off. That's what's sick. Your body need help. Your body been holding you down as long as it can, and now it's breaking down. It need help, baby. How are you believing? What are you believing that's bubbling up in you, coming to the surface, running to its master, getting mattered, getting flesh? What are you believing? What are you faithing? Where are you focusing at in your life? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live? You better pay attention to words, objects, and numbers and colors. Baby, go metaphysical. Learn about colors. Learn about numbers. Learn about you. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say. The Spirit is up here. The Spirit is in the atmosphere. Go in the stars. Get your mind off of that diagnosis that they gave you. Get your mind off of it. Now you know that the reason that's there is because the thinking was off balance. Go find you something to do. You better not be looking like that issue. You better not be looking like that problem. You better, I don't care if you feeling so bad, you better go in there and put on some makeup. You better go in there and put on your lace front. You better start making encouraging videos. Do you know in your sickness where you get your help from is how you encourage others? Because you're not focused on your problem. You focus on getting them well. Because you trust in God to fix your problem. You're not getting in it because you don't know how to fix it. But it's easy to help somebody else fix their problem, so go help them. Because it's hard to fix our own. Because that's God's job. Your job is to spread the word. Your job is to spread the good news. Get on here and start talking about your issue. Lift somebody up that's going through your issue. You got to find something to do and put God in your business. Everything you doing, you got to put God in it. See, you got to surround yourself with the light. You got to eat the light, be the light, spread the light. Because you're walking in the valley of the shadow of death. It ain't touched you. It's just the scary words done got big. The scary words done turned into something. In the knowledge book, it says cancer, that's nothing. It's just how you thinking. We burn ourselves by how we thinking. How are the words that you hold dear in your heart? How does it make you feel? How bubbly does it make you feel? When you in there thanking God and praising God for your children. If you got all your children, praise God. If all your children got their health and strength, praise God. You better find something that you done seen that God done did in your life and thank him for it. And use the power of it. See, he like doing things for you so you can have something to look back on. It's the markers. If he done saved you out of a situation, go back there. You're gonna have to get some in your praise. You're gonna have to create these bubbles. This is what a creator is. What are you feeling? What are you feeding God? What are you introducing God? You gotta have church up in here. You got to be in here rejoicing. You can't be sad. You can't be pitiful. You can't be remorseful. You can't be regretful. You can't be full of trying to get revenge on somebody. Let all that crap go that belong to the Caesar's world. You are a part of God's world now. You are spirit. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. Whose part do you believe? Do you believe your own report, or do you believe them? Do you believe the words that God have put in you, or do you believe them? Do you believe these words that people done died over? They killed each other over. They done kept these words sacred. Why? Why these words so important? You better go see. You better go see. Jesus said, hey, you want to know what's over there? Go see. You're fighting for your life. Brandy, when I was talking to Tiffany was in the hospital. I talked to Tiffany every day up until 2 days of her passing. And y'all, Tiffany is she's my sister and Brandy's cousin. Brandy's my cousin. And my sister and my father died a day after each other. Now, I was having this same conversation with my sister. And I was like, baby, you fighting for your life. You better be in that bed praising God. You better be in that bed thinking about all the good stuff God have done for you. Your whole life ain't been bad. You go back in the memories that made you feel good, that made you be strong. Stop being in that hospital bed. Morph, transform, go into a memory, go into where your life was working, go into your words, go into your praise, dwell in your praise, dwell in the words. Thank God. Thank God for healing. Thank God for the hospital. Thank God for the doctors. Thank God that you got a mouth to praise him. Thank God that you got life. This is my life. This is my life. This is my life. I'm the one that say when it's going to lay down and when to get up. Didn't Jesus tell them people, look, you can do whatever you want to do to me. I can lay this body down and raise it right on back up. I'm living proof. So you can't say it can't be done. But you got to morph and make your mind see what you're saying. You're talking to the universe. So you sending images, you sending thoughts, you sending frequency, and this is how it's responding. What matters to you? What's bubbling up in you? What give you the bubblies? And you can get the bubblies the other way, the bad way. But what is giving you bubblies? You can get bubblies this way, or you can get bubblies that way. What are you sending up? What are you sending down? What are you holding in? What do you really believe in? What's gripping your heart right now? If you sitting up here thinking about death, then death gripping your heart. You believe in everything about death. You just done researched death, made friends with death, done made a partner with death. You hanging out with death. You doing death things. You don't care about yourself no more. Yeah, now you're looking like death. You're talking like death. It's about your word choice. When you telling people about you, don't be telling people you sick. Don't even talk about that. Because you're healing. You have to now be the word that you're claiming. So if you're claiming to be healed, if you're claiming healing, if you want to be healed, if you want life, you got to be those words. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve sick and then, healing at the same time. They don't have the same frequency. They don't bond together. One is going to bump the other. And if there is a sickness, healing come around, sickness got to go. See? God words out trump any word, any negative word. So you choose your word. It's like if your children like Yu-Gi-Oh, if your children like Pokemon, those animes teach you how to duel. And when you think about you're dueling with negativity. You're dueling with bad thoughts. You're dueling with experiences that you've had that you won't let go of because you think for some reason they don't formed you and shaped you and they the reason why you think the way you think. And it's always from somebody else, and you cannot participate in that. So you have to learn how to duel. You're fighting. You're on the battlefield. You're fighting. But your fighting is going to be what's bubbling up in you. Your fighting is like what words coming out of your mouth. Your fighting is like what type of praise do you have. Your fighting is like what do you believe and what are you knowing? Because guess what? It's bubbling up in the surface. And Jesus is down there. Goodness is down there. Beautiful things is buried under the sea. Treasures is under the sea. Forgotten things is under the sea. Good things is under the sea. What are you seeing? How are you seeing? How far is your sight? Can you see as far as the eye can see, or can you only see what's in front of you? What type of vision do you have? What type of perceptions do you have? Just because you got that doctor's report, now it's time to rejoice because now you get to be God. Now you get to perform the miracles of God. Now you get to use your power. See, count it all joy. Now you got something to do. Now you get to see what these hands can do. Now you get to see what these words really mean. And listen, these words are objects, numbers, and colors also. Being a spirit, you got to recognize things that keep on repeating themselves to you. Like, I have a purple heart that follows me everywhere. I notice that I can see purple heart in the word form, purple heart. I can see purple heart in an actual purple heart. I can see purple heart in the presidential sign, purple heart. I could actually see a veteran, a man that was given the purple heart. I can actually see him wear his attire. Purple hearts mean something to me. And these purple hearts represent my daughter that passed. And this is how I learned how to see, by following the purple hearts. Following the purple hearts, I met the sunflower. Following the sunflower, I met the lotus. Following the lotus, I met the star. Following the star, I met 3, the number 3. Following the number 3, I met other words. I met colors. I learned what these things mean because you're spirit. So you're going to have to get spiritual teachings. You're going to have to get a spiritual foundation. You're going to have to get spiritual bearings, spiritual understanding, because you're dealing with the elements. How we think is why the world is the way it is. Why you think they tell us the things that they're going to do to us before they do it? Because if they tell us the things that they're going to do to us before they do it, which is the fear and destruction that we all focus on, just because we focusing on it, it's going to fall just like how they say. But if they tell us what they going to do to us and we say, no, F y'all ain't, because we believe this way, because we know this way, because we recognize this way, it won't happen. You help this thing come to pass. You help this thing come to be. You help this thing grow up. You help this thing bubble up. You help this thing come to the surface. You tell this thing where to go by how it's vibrating. Why? Because it matters to you. So you're going to have to find things that matter to you, the things that you really want God to matter. You're going to have to think about what's mattering to you. According to how you think is how your health turn out. According to how you think is according to how your healing go. According to how you think is how your organs get back in shape. According to how you think is how your cells can hear you. I love you.